6:30. We go now to Nick Perot, who's live at the City Council offices. And Nick, you've been there since the meeting started. What are people saying tonight?
Well, Greg, they've came here wanting answers from BWL General Manager Peter Lark and tell board commissioners they're unhappy with service first and foremost, and that they're concerned with how many trucks are out, the time, the delay. Very upset. Coming here, as you can see in the video we're about to show you, this place was packed, and still a few people in here. Council chambers were packed. The hallway was packed, and they even had some overflow into the downstairs lobby. People wanted to make sure BWL officials could understand their frustration and concerns, and they made sure that the commissioners could hear them tonight.
And we live in a state in which extreme weather is an everyday occurrence. Therefore, this late response is inexcusable by every measure.
Okay, I feel sorry for you all for all those phone calls, because this is not your sole responsibility. Let me ask you this. Is it the Board of Water and Light's responsibility to check on the elderly who are freezing inside their homes?
And as you can hear from just those few quick sound bites, Greg, very upset at both BWL and the city for this response. But I talked with Peter Lark, and he said, look, 40% of their customer base was affected by this power outage, the largest of any utility in the area, consumers, DTE. BW had the most customers affected, something they've never seen before. And we spoke with Sandy Zirkle last week, who told us, look, they haven't had a website with power outage updates because usually this thing's been resolved in 24 to 48 hours. So new territory for them, but Peter Lark said they had the right amount of crews out there on the scene and ready to react when this happened last week.
I can announce that all customers will have power available to them by the end of tomorrow, 10 days following the event. I should say, and there's been some discussion of this as well, except for those whose homes require repairs before service can be reconnected by the BWL. I've been assured by my operational staff that we had the optimum level of crews on the ground to complete the restoration as timely as possible.
There had been some out there that thought that there were 5 crews out. We were told 25 crews were out the first 2 days they responded. That included tree trimmers, some spotters to spot those down wires, as well as crews to go out and repair those. So 25 crews were out the first few days, and as of Friday last week, they said 58 crews were out. Now, they do have a mutual agreement, Greg, with 40 other municipalities that were called on to help aid with this restoration. Now, the problem they had is that BWL officials have to accompany the additional crews. So if you see a BWL truck come to your neighborhood and leave, that's because they had to go make sure they could get the other crews and have a BWL official with them. So as you heard Peter Lark there, they hope to have all customers restored tomorrow by the end of the day. That is, unless there is other damage that has to be repaired. So again, live out here in Lansing, Nick Perot tonight, a long and lengthy meeting, but make sure to stay with 6 News for the very latest. For now, live in Lansing, Nick Perot, 6 News.
Thanks, and hopefully they can get that power restored by tomorrow. Well, the city cleared over 130 streets that were blocked and littered with downed trees. Now, with the emergency technically over, the Lansing Public